My wife epitomizes the essence of an exceptional woman. Her unique ability to transform the simplest things into something extraordinary is nothing short of remarkable. Whether she's crafting a delightful salad, weaving an enchanting story that leaves her audience spellbound, or creating a stylish hat, her skills are unmatched. Even the iconic Coco Chanel, had she met my wife, might have been captivated by her originality. Adelina seamlessly combines intelligence and beauty in a way that allows her to shine in any setting. Her charisma naturally draws people to her. Friends, colleagues, and even the partners of those she meets at social events. She gracefully balances lighthearted flirtation with genuine kindness, while her keen intellect and refined elegance become tools she wields masterfully, achieving anything she sets her sights on. While others might envy my position, I feel nothing but immense pride to have such an extraordinary woman by my side. Even her name, Adelina, reflects her authenticity and brilliance. When we first met, she was a specialist at an insurance company. Over the next 6 years, her dedication and work ethic led her to oversee the company's internal network development, where she achieved remarkable success. Recognizing her talent, the company promoted her to lead the regional sales department. I often call her my business as a term of endearment because she excels in every area of her life. From keeping our home impeccably organized to nurturing our relationship and thriving professionally, she seems to handle it all effortlessly. When her company organized a quarterly report meeting paired with a corporate party, Adelina couldn't decline, even though she would have preferred a quiet evening at home. As head of the sales network, her presence was crucial. She had a prominent role at the event, responsible for formal presentations as well as informal networking. The gathering brought together the entire company, from the owner and CEO to staff and agents. Even during her preparations, I could sense the weight of her responsibilities. A week later, the day of the event arrived. Adelina asked me to drive her to the hotel and restaurant complex on the city's outskirts, where the convention was being held. The venue was well equipped, featuring a conference hall for meetings, a banquet space for the celebration, and hotel rooms for out-of-town attendees. Millennium, the prestigious insurance company she worked for, had spared no expense in recognizing its successful sales team. As always, Adelina exuded elegance. Her ash blonde hair was styled into a sophisticated updo, perfectly framing her delicate features. She wore a sleek black dress that accentuated her graceful figure, flawlessly blending professionalism with allure. Lace-trimmed stockings, stiletto heels, subtle makeup, and the delicate scent of her favorite perfume completed her look. When we arrived, the venue was lavishly decorated with plush carpets, festive balloon arrangements, and promotional banners. Soft music played in the background as attentive servers offered appetizers to arriving guests. As I left Adelina at the venue, she gave me her signature affectionate kiss on the nose, reassuring me with a smile that she'd arrange her own ride home after the event, which was expected to end by midnight. Midnight came and went, but my Cinderella did not return. Hours passed, and while her phone notification suggested the party was still ongoing, an uneasy silence settled over me. My mind swirled with questions, but I reassured myself that she was likely just tired and would come home soon. With that thought, I drifted into a restless sleep, unaware of the quiet storm brewing beneath the surface. 3 nights later, I awoke abruptly. The dim glow of the clock read just after 4 a.m. as the first light of summer dawn began to seep into the room. I turned toward my wife, startled to see her slipping into bed as though nothing had happened. Still groggy and unsettled, I instinctively reached out to cover her, only to stop mid-motion as I took in the scene before me. Adelina lay sprawled across the bed, her purse, phone, and high heels scattered haphazardly on the floor. One stocking had slipped down to her knee, while the other was clutched tightly in her hand. Her usually impeccable hair was a disheveled mess, as if she'd just stepped out of a whirlwind. Most unsettling of all was the absence of any undergarments beneath her dress, which now revealed far more than it should have. I struggled to make sense of it. While it wasn't unheard of for such items to go missing discreetly, Their total disappearance defied logic. For a fleeting moment, I considered confronting her, a ridiculous vision of Nicholas from a slapstick comedy flashing in my mind. But I quickly realized that getting a coherent explanation from her in her current state would be futile. Determined to uncover the truth, I resolved to retrace her steps like a detective, following a trail of breadcrumbs. Yet within the confines of our home, I found nothing out of the ordinary. No evidence, no clues, just the usual reminders of her impeccable work ethic and outstanding achievements, including a framed diploma proudly displayed in our living room. Frustrated and restless, I chain-smoked nearly 2 packs of cigarettes and downed half a pot of coffee. My mind raced through countless scenarios, all converging on the same devastating conclusion. My wife, Adelina, had been unfaithful, desperate for answers. I confronted her the following morning. She looked at me through bleary eyes, her face pale and strained. Her replies were fragmented and vague. She complained of a pounding headache and claimed to have no recollection of the evening. Strangely, her lack of memory brought me a glimmer of relief, though it was fleeting. As she sipped her black coffee in silence, the reality of her situation seemed to dawn on her. The very gaps in her memory appeared to deepen her unease. Piece by piece, fragments of the night began to surface. She recalled the formal program, the award ceremony, and the lively atmosphere of the party. Adelina recounted fragmented memories of the evening, the opening banquet, the dance announced by the host, and even winning a quirky jump-in-the-bag contest, earning a lollipop as a prize. Oddly, that same lollipop later turned up in her underwear, a discovery as baffling as it was amusing. Despite these recollections, there were glaring holes in her memory, leaving an uneasy feeling in both of us. Instead of returning home as expected, Adelina brought back a shroud of mystery. For the first time, jealousy and doubt crept into my thoughts about my once perfect wife. Determined to uncover the truth, I demanded she call her friend and colleague Aura on speakerphone. Though visibly embarrassed, Adelina complied, realizing she had no choice. "Adelina, please don't make me laugh," Aura said, half amused. "Can't you remember anything?" Aura began to recount the evening's events. During the official part of the night, Adelina had been tense, closely monitoring her team's presentations. She barely touched her meal and sipped champagne sparingly. However, receiving an award later in the evening had lifted her spirits, a rare moment of joy amidst the stress. But after the formalities ended, the mood shifted. Adelina discovered a newfound love for Sambuca at the bar. With each drink, she grew more relaxed, sharing stories about her life work and a stray dog she befriended in the office parking lot. She had named the dog Boss and was heartbroken when the company decided to move it to a shelter due to budget cuts. As the evening wore on, the crowd sought more entertainment. Impromptu activities unfolded, and Adelina, eager to contribute, proposed an auction. She offered items from her wardrobe, with all proceeds going toward building a shelter for Boss. To the rhythm of lively music, she dramatically removed a silk scarf and tossed it into the crowd, sparking laughter, cheers, and a bidding war. Aura explained that she and another colleague had ensured Adelina made it home safely, but the evening left a lingering embarrassment. The next day, a video of the event surfaced, and Adelina and I watched it together. Her face turned crimson as she buried it in her hands. "Oh my God," she groaned. "I can't believe I did that in front of my coworkers, my team, and the management." On one hand, I felt relieved. Her behavior, though reckless, had stemmed from a pure intent to help Boss. On the other hand, the consequences were severe. "How am I supposed to face everyone at work on Monday?" she muttered. "Should I just resign now and get it over with?" Her panicked thoughts were interrupted by a phone call from her manager. "Adelina," the voice began, "did you forget something last night? There's an offer on the table to purchase your auction items. The proceeds will cover the construction of a shelter, veterinary care, 6 months of food, and even a passport for Boss." Adelina hesitated. "What's the condition?" she stammered. "Don't name the dog Boss," the manager replied dryly. As the call ended, silence filled the room. Finally, I broke the tension with a light-hearted remark. Well, the goal was achieved. As they say, all's fair in love and war. Adelina managed a faint smile. Though the embarrassment lingered, she seemed comforted by the outcome. Her reckless actions, born from compassion, had inadvertently paved the way for a better life for Boss, and perhaps a lesson in humility for us both.